You got it on my phone and everything.
That's how you know it's peace, love, and harmony. Let us know when we good. So. Good to go?
You alright, motherfucker?
Alright, and welcome to episode 2 of the Non-Millennial Podcast, interviews for this year with none other than your host, Jose motherfucking Ortega. You know what I mean? I'm representing right now from my Black Latino people out there, especially all the Dominicans. A lot of them, like, y'all don't really want to rep the fact that y'all Black Latino from, like, birth and shit. You don't want to call it Latino just straight out, but y'all be Black, too, so.
Dominicans been niggas since niggas been niggas.
Exactly. So, this is like, you can't just be a Latino and be Dominican. Like, you are a Black Latino, but, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. But you interjecting and shit. You gotta wait now to interject and actually, speak, because this ain't about us no more. This ain't in this moment, it's not. But
my bad. I shut the fuck up.
Millennials interviews. House of Spades Media, none other than your host, Jose Ortega. And I'm here with who's normally my co-host, but ain't today. So this motherfucker gonna chill and take this interview like a grown-ass Detroit nigga that he is. But I am here with my highly favorite co-host, and who's also an artist, you know what I'm saying, putting out major work and going hard in 2020. None other than Busy Black. What's good, my nigga?
The one and only. And blessed and highly favored, my nigga.
Preach God. You know what I mean? Preach God. Preach God.
Keep it on. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Keep it going.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, great vibes. You feel me? You know, like, motherfuckers want to come up in this bitch and feel like it's 6 o'clock in the morning. But it's not. We just chilling. You know what I mean?
Hey, we night owls anyway, so.
True
that's
shit.
what we do.
Weed and Grand Theft Auto and music. That's usually where it go. And for you Tito's from time to time. But stop drinking Mexican vodka. That's not a thing.
That's American vodka. That shit made in Texas, nigga.
Yeah, but Tito's and vodka. Tito's and vodka, you know what I mean? Like
Tito's,
how would you feel if there was a tequila, you know what I'm saying, that came out and it was called Igor's? Yeah.
I wouldn't feel it. I probably still drink it really good. I like high-priced liquor, thank you very much. So if you want to send that, that's fine.
Only good shit. True. But
True. Do say preferably.
That is.
Shout out to Hope.
Yep. Black on. But when, like, in this moment right now, outside of everything else, I want to get to hip hop, rap, me and you talk our shit on the Non-Millennials Podcast, which is coming back this year.
Yes, sir.
We get into mad shit, politics, fucking music, general stupid people shit, and who's mostly racist. And sometimes we're the most racist people in the room, but when you can call somebody else racist, that works too. That actually makes you feel a little good about yourself.
Our racism is never from a nefarious place.
No. I don't even know what that means, but I'm going to disagree. But right now, I know you have some music gearing up. You know what I'm saying? You got to start to your own movement. Tell the people about that. I know a little bit, but go a little bit in depth for us.
Well, it's called Resurrection Therapy. Everybody knows that that's been in the circle and whatnot because, something I've been working on off and on for probably, it's 2020, so 7 years. So all of that for 6 songs, but it was going to be a little bit longer than that. But I've narrowed it down to what I really like, throwing some new things in there.
Nigga took a Justin Timberlake break.
Yeah, you got to do that sometimes, get your mind right.
I feel that.
So, it was a lot of shit that happened. A lot of life was lived. Get into that in the next interview, probably. But
I mean, that's how shit comes about, though.
There. Well, for those of you that know to listen to the podcast and whatnot, it comes out, in and out sometimes. But, yeah, nigga, this is, I said I got 6 songs, possibly 7, maybe. It depends on this last one. I gotta see if I can get a singer for it. But mostly produced by Detroit Shawnzy, of course.
Shout outs.
My man's. What's the other guy's name? 2093, I think, or 2039. He's got a track on there. That's the Kid Goron. Shout out to them niggas too.
For sure.
Got some good shit coming with them. I'm probably gonna drop a single maybe in the next few weeks or so. Still working on finishing that up. Got probably a session or 2 left with that. But yeah, that's been on the move. I'm probably getting on features and whatnot, and all the other little fun things that comes to being a rapper. It's just one of my many bags.
I feel that. And I make fun of you all the time, saying like, "Oh shit, nigga, you rap," but I always knew you rap.
Well, I took
you
a
know
break
what I'm
for
saying?
so long.
I fuck with you just on the simple fact that I know you dope. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm a terrible person like that. Like I fat shame. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a person that's like, it's like if you're that person like, oh God, I need to lose some weight. I'm gonna fat shame the fuck out of you just so you lose that weight. You know what I mean? So I'm rap shaming you like that. Like I want you to use that shit as motivation. I'm glad that it works. It works. I feel like it does.
No, it definitely works. It works on the right people, but motherfuckers be sensitive out here. So
Real
you can
shit.
fat shame somebody and they go kill themselves or something, or you can rap shame somebody and they feel horrible and want to jump off a bridge. It's over. I'm too old. Niggas can't rap.
Oh, yeah.
Never had those problems, but I can imagine for somebody in a similar situation.
True.
Think of a few names off the top of my head, but we're not getting into that.
Yeah, people regress. Or you know what I'm saying? And as they regress, they just, they fall into a spot to where it's like, oh shit. Like you were saying, like, I don't know if I can do it anymore. I didn't get the juice. But it's like, if you really give a fuck about the craft,
you're eventually going to get attracted back to it.
Exactly.
That's one thing I've noticed with all my creative endeavors is like, I think from time to time I just because of how I think, I guess I end up thinking, okay, I want to do a show, or I want to do a podcast, or I want to do a song, or I want to fall back and just do the business or some shit. It's because I do really want to do those things and I'm naturally pulled to them, but at a certain point you got to sit down and focus and do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Or at least two if you can balance them right.
Yeah, like you never want to overwork your creativity. I feel like that's when like shit starts to cross over too much into each other, and it gets to a point where it's like something is going to lack. You know what I'm saying? You might be 1,000 here, 10% there, and you can tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like 1,000.
It's hot in a motherfucker in here, man. This motherfucker got the heat on hell.
It's well produced lights, nigga.
That probably too.
You know what I mean? Like that's how you know you in great space and lighting is when you about to die of heat stroke.
Hey, House Space Media, baby, the one and only.
You know what I mean? In house.
All day.
So like, with that being like the plan for you moving forward into 2020, let's go back into the spark of everything that brought you into the point to where you fell in love with rap, wanted to rap. What's the beginning for Busy Black?
I think the first hip hop record I heard was Back That Ass Up. Videos cost a lot at the time or whatever, but at the same time, I ended up, I think it was, I got into hip hop then because I saw my cousin on the couch. He was into it or whatever, and then he introduced me into it.
Yearish time.
I'd say like 90s. Whenever Back That Ass Up was popular. That was 98, 99.
Yeah, but that shit played on that like the radio for like a minute too. You know what I mean?
I was 7 or something.
Okay.
So I don't remember that part, but I remember specifically
around like 99 or so. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember specifically seeing it on BET. But anyway, it wasn't hip hop. At least wasn't that big of an influence at that point. So it was like oh, what's that? 'Cause I was more into pop music when I was little and rock and shit. So I ended up, a few years go by, whatever, I ended up getting introduced to Jay-Z through the same person I saw watching the Back That Ass Up video. And I don't know, I fell in love with that Black album, man. Black album just fucked me up. Between him and Eminem, there was a lot of Eminem in that time too.
Eminem's, I think, is a big influence for artists like us. Well, and like young people around like when we were young, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
definitely.
like us being from the city and shit, like
Even that.
Seeing the white boy make it, to me, it was just like being from the city and seeing the white boy make it from, you know what I'm saying, from Detroit was like, yo. Like,
for me, it wasn't really
that shit was crazy.
It wasn't really that for me. It was with him, it was more so of a, I don't know, it was, I understood the anger or something. I guess I was a secretly angry kid or something. I don't know. But I used to like that little gimmick, I guess, of being so angry and shit.
Did you punch the light-skinned kid in school?
I punched white kids.
Oh, man. Salute to that.
Shout out to y'all. That's not racist. It was just something.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's 2020. God, people.
I was a bully at one point. I'm sorry. I was a child. Jesus. No, but the heavy influences, man. All the Cash Money, especially at the time, and then the second wave, and Jay and M. So like by the time I was like probably 12, 13. I'm like, yeah, I should be a rapper. I think I'd be good at that.
That was just a thought.
Yeah, I didn't do anything about it. Not at the time. But I ended up, you know what? That's what started it. This chick I was messing with, shout out to Destiny. I think it was, I don't remember what grade I was in, but whenever you're 13 or whatever, 14. And I ended up messing with this chick, and she broke my 14-year-old heart. So
Aww.
yeah, right. So I ended up writing to 98 Bonnie and Clyde. Wrote my first song to that. And it was like a please get back with me love song thing. Yeah, it's very, very sappy and
That was it. You were hurt.
ridiculous.
Yeah, you were quite hurt.
Which, yeah. But, you get good content from fucked up relationships.
Yeah, when the life is in the music, that's when it's good shit. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not the best shit, that's when it's genuine shit.
Don't get it twisted. Wasn't good at all.
I'm sure it wasn't.
Horrible.
Everybody's first bars is fucking terrible.
Horrible.
Motherfuckers want to put that shit in the deep chest, like right next to Jakku Stowe's Hitting Treasure. You don't.
Throw that shit out in the ocean. Keep your mama titties out your head.
Real shit. Like, you don't want no parts of that. Like, I remember my mom found my first verse, like, in my sock drawer and shit, like, really just going through my shit. And she found that motherfucker. I tried to intercept the bitch, like, quick in motherfucker. Like, it was filled with profanity. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was, like, unnecessary amounts of words of just profanity. Like, there was some bitches in there and some niggas that did not have to be within that verse, but I put them there anyway just because they was bitches and niggas. It's crazy. It was crazy.
So it'd be like that sometimes, though.
Savagery.
But, well, I never had a story like that. But, I wrote the song anyway. Didn't touch it again for, another few months because I started making, these assholes kept talking about it and we were already trying, it was talked about because there were a lot of names thrown around for our company and what we wanted to do, group, solo, yada, yada. And I think well, Ace probably told the story best, but if y'all saw that interview. But, I guess I caught the bug somehow and went out, bought some equipment, and started just fucking around with stuff. And now, like I said, I did that. We did that for probably 5 years straight before we ran into real life again. Not that we weren't going through life then, but, ran into real life at that point. So it stopped. So I know I had a hard time getting myself back in the headspace to really do the music I wanted to do. So now I'm more...
Was there inspiration to the comeback?
Yeah.
What's the inspiration to the comeback?
Wanting to make it work. And I have a history of getting fired, so I don't really think I can do anything else.
Yeah,
being honest.
Maybe rap is the thing for you.
Rap, business, podcasting, whatever. I just know I can't work for somebody else because that shit does not work out.
Fuck working for the man, bro. Like, make your own guapanese.
They heard the House of Space record. They
dig.
Jumped off the porch when I was 14, nigga. But
yeah, you feel me?
Real.
Jump off the porch with the Gucci rag around your neck. You feel me?
Chanel, but yeah.
Whatever. They heard the record, and then we was high when we did it.
When are we not?
That's a very good question. I don't even remember the last time when, but that doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, it just got more and more real, and then now I got all this wealth of experience, I guess, to where I got I probably got 15 years worth of shit to talk about. So y'all gonna get 6 tracks of that. And then y'all gonna get something. I got a little plan for this year.
6 tracks suitable?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Test the waters, man.
It's been a while.
Test the waters. Say, let's figure that's a track for every year.
LTM 1 was a while.
2012 that came out. So that's 8 years. Okay, so
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We're like.
Well, you gotta think. Remember the takeover.
Oh no, that's where I was. I was just about to get there. I was like, matter of fact, when I met you, shortly after, that was like shortly after you had done the takeover. The takeover was just out, but it was new at the time. And 2010,
11.
Yep. 11. Yeah, 2011. Like, you was still on that kick, and then And I was like, yo, this.
See,
this
you
shit,
know what it
this
was?
shit ain't bad.
You know what it was at that point? It was more so me trying to prove to niggas I could rap, because it was like, I went from saying I was going to do comedy. That's another one of my things that I like. But y'all that like the podcast have probably figured that out. But I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan. So I was running around telling people I was going to do that. And then I just switched up one day, started telling people I was going to rap. And everybody's like, you can't rap, nigga. And I'm like, let me show you something. So it was garbage. It was good at the time, though, to me. But, you know, I don't know if I proved anybody wrong. But a couple people said I shut them up. So thank you, people, I guess.
That's growth, though. Like,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
suck it that's growth as an artist. But, like, I feel like you ain't on the right track, and you can't look at the last shit that you've done and say that to yourself, at least.
That's better.
That's garbage. What I'm doing right now is 1,000% better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Definitely.
there's a point to where it's like, if you're not evolving to that point all the time, like, or at least on that track, you're gonna end up regressing or staying the same. And after so long of that, who the fuck wants to hear this? Who wants to hear the same artist doing the same shit the same way for 20 years?
I mean, some people get away with it.
You change up some shit along the way. You
Doesn't matter though.
I'm gonna say that's the way. You know what I'm saying? The road to longevity.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
It was at one point, I think. I think back in the day, you could get off with one act in a couple different genres of entertainment. You could get off with just riding off one act. I've seen comedians do it where they have the same jokes. They just revolve them for like 10, 15 years.
Yeah, you can change little
and
things.
them niggas get Vegas shows though.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, the residency joints.
Tours,
yeah.
But, you know, they get residency. So it works for some people.
Yeah, you can definitely make it work. But when
Drake got a Vegas residency.
So does Rick Ross.
He does?
Yeah. And 2 Chainz.
That's dope.
Right? Hip hop is going. Hip hop is growing, and I was about to say that too. Like the longevity now is to where it's a point where we're seeing rappers for the first time get old.
To that point,
get old,
and means something.
Yeah, and they, you know what I'm saying.
To the OGs,
like they not in a position where they've been fucked by like a label and fucked them so hard, or where they like don't own their masters and they broken shit, or they don't own themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like we're seeing rappers kind of like by choice move away from, oh, I'm not gonna do these verses or do verses on a regular, you know what I'm saying? Because like, oh yeah, now I got this $1 billion venture that's, you know what I'm saying, hatching an egg, you know what I'm saying? And just like that, all right, I can go away from it, you know what I'm saying? You can pull away and you can go into all these different types of modes. And it's impressive. It's actually dope to see.
It's nice to see that it's done, and of course we all want to do it, but that's still a very small percentage. So I think, you know, as good as it is to see, how many people are going to get to that point? We're all clawing to get there.
Yeah, but
how many
it's saying the fact that it can be done way better than, or more regularly than what they thought. Well, what we thought previously. You know what I'm saying? We may have thought like, oh, there's only room for one Diddy or one Jay-Z.
Well, you know what I'm
saying? But now you got all these people that look up to them as artists who you can see on that same trek and trajectory, and they're going to be in that same class too one day as far as those $100 million billionaire moguls. You know what I'm saying? Drake is on that road.
Yeah. I think it's you know, it's easier than it looks, but it's still just as hard. Probably harder than you think it is.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I'm gonna say I don't think anything in the industry today has changed outside, like realistically changed outside of how easy it is to put music out.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a big thing.
And how much you can monetize off of doing such little amount of work too. Like motherfuckers are really like making 15, 10, 20 million dollars off one track. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't even have to have a fucking project yet, you know, or at all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can be a singles artist today and be 1,000. You know what I mean?
A whole nice little living.
Yeah, but outside of that, everything else is pretty much the same. Labels still fucking artists. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Looking for new ways.
Like niggas are still trying to flip come up with the new motherfucking way to do the 360. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? People still not getting paid attention to, you know, as they should, and getting that attention that they need to blow, even though they might have the talent to. Mm-hmm. So, like, outside of, you know what I'm saying, those are the things, like, shit like that remains the same. It's just, like, so much room for people to grow. And I feel like, just because I've known you for so long, your brain is really just here, and here. But you can do all of those fucking things and not fucking like not deteriorate another thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's the struggle. It's trying to multitask. It's trying to do multiple things, you know. And stay focused on them equally, so you're not slacking. Yeah. Same shit.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm the same. I'm that way.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And finding that pocket to, like I said, like it's dope to see you doing music again.
Yeah.
Because it's like that's just like like I know you're so good at it. You get that tension that you need to be able to focus on it. And from what I've heard, like the snippets that you've played for me, maybe we get a snippet for the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe at the end or some shit. You know what I mean? But like that shit is pretty fucking dope. You know what I mean? Like going back and like to that trajectory of going up and being successful with the shit. You know what I mean? The craft, the art of it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's been a long trip for me doing this shit. So
I dig.
You know, it's just like I said, it's gonna be more shit after this. It's just this project specifically meant a lot to put it together, no matter how many songs I came to the conclusion, and just under that name to put something that name means a lot, which y'all will figure out from probably videos and whatnot. But
can you describe the feeling that you went through or were in as far as LTM and the mode and vibe that you were in today going into this project? You know what I'm saying? Because I know your brain, you know what I'm saying? You in a different space. Like, you a different person, you know what I'm saying? That was so many years ago. So it's like, can you describe, like, the change in you, or at least the change in how you approaching this project?
Well, like I said, the Takeover was the first one. I was more me trying to prove people how to rap. Then I did the LTM one a year later. But that took, I think it took 2 years to make. I ran through probably 60 songs trying to get it done.
I remember a lot of them.
Yeah. And a lot of them that just scraps now. There's not even nobody.
Yeah, there was a lot of music recorded and like just general.
In preparation for it, and it ended up being like I think 22 songs, and I think maybe I don't know. I want to say half of it is me attempting to pour my heart out and like get my feelings out on my Joe Budden shit, and the other half is my attempt at I'd say making it like a pop record or something. Because I had a lot of poppy sounds on there. If it wasn't super hip hop, it was poppy or depressing. I feel like. So I think like, that wasn't. Really,
but that was a time still when people really. It was kind of like a necessity if you wanted to try to get on to have that radio.
You had to have a range.
Yeah,
definitely.
But you definitely
you still do have.
But you definitely almost had to have the radio-ish or the club-ish records. Like that's what.
But mind you,
you know what I'm saying. A lot of people
shit I didn't know, because you got to think even those records I can't really monetize. Maybe 2 of them,
right?
Because of
own your masters,
right. We found that out a little bit later, so it ended up being just a situation where I don't know if I felt bad about it. I felt good about it when I made it, but then I think like a few months later, I felt like it was rushed, kind of like the Takeover shit. Even though it took 2 years and all them songs, like I still felt like it was rushed.
I think it was. Like, cause I know it was such a the process to record and it would took so long. Like to me, it took a long time for you, the process to make the project. Even though I was I saw you in your your artist bag, you know what I'm saying, and prepping to it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's one of those things where you're supposed to healthily look at your shit that you just dropped and be like, that shit was ass. I can do better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like every artist, every artist should be able to go through that.
You got to be honest with yourself. That's one thing I think people make when they, I don't know about a lot of people I know, especially when I first started rapping, I get nervous and shit, especially rapping in front of other people and shit. So I think it's kind of that same thing. If you too nervous to do something that you really want to do, then you end up kind of fucking it up. You got to get out your own head and you got to do it, then be super analytical about it.
Yeah, it comes through. You know what I'm saying? It definitely comes through. It comes through if you're trying too hard. Yeah, and it comes off. You know what I'm saying? It really comes off if you not putting any effort at all. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that median.
Yeah, and I think that's really you want your question. You asked me was what's the difference in the mind space? That's the difference. Now, this and everything else is coming from that angle of it, as opposed to, I guess, trying to I'm trying to not do what I already did, make it better, and then still add on to it without, copying. That's why I stopped listening to a lot of music recently. Like the last year and a half, I haven't listened to most of anybody's project because I've been wanting to do my shit.
Oh yeah.
So and like I said, this one has gone through the phases of okay, don't make it sound like this, don't make it too dark, don't make it too poppy, don't rap fast on it the whole time, or just whatever, just so I can make it a cohesive project.
Right.
That's really what I'm gunning for, I guess. And I think what I narrowed it down to is, I'm ready to move on from it. So it's like I think I got maybe 2 or 3 more songs to finish for it, which is out of 6.
Right.
I've ran through so fucking many that it's like these last 3 is it. So I'm gonna do these last 3, and I'm gonna write this one off. This one done.
You sure you don't want to do another 22, John?
Nah, it's too much.
It's too much.
It's 2020, man.
So?
Streaming exists. You just got done talking about how they can make a whole career off of singles. The fuck make you think I'm not doing that?
Shit. Fucking Chris Brown released 66,000 songs in a year. And went crazy with the shit.
On one album.
On one album. And then said, fuck it, I'm going to give you another 22 and a half.
There's a strategy to that, too, though. There's a realistic streaming strategy to that, I think. But, hell no, I ain't doing that shit, nigga. Man, I'll record 66,000 songs probably to make sure I got the right 10 for a project.
I'm coming at you with a fucking nurse and like a straight jacket, and we taking you to the fucking to rehab. Bro. If you do 6,600 songs, bro, that's too much cocaine. That's too much cocaine.
Y'all niggas ever see me trying to do some shit like that, it's the coke.
It has to be.
Not that I have a coke problem, but if I'm doing that, I probably do it that way.
Code white. We gotta find the mountain, until they take that shit out. That's a problem. But that's what I'm saying. It worked for certain motherfuckers though. That might just be the bag.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Like Dave East, I feel like Dave East's shortest project, I felt like it wasn't his good one because he makes full body ones. You know what I'm saying? And everyone that was of his normal accord has been great. You know what I'm saying? You
know the beauty of that though?
What's that?
Even if you don't like it, God willing, nothing happens to the man, he's gonna give you another one. So judge that one, nigga. Fuck it, you ain't like that one. Okay. Y'all might not like this one. You might like the next one. Or you might not. I'm gonna keep doing it though.
I'm just asking you, fam. You know
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell you right now though.
You getting with the time.
No matter where this shit goes, whether it's here or we in Italy doing this shit somewhere next go around, motherfucking, you ain't gonna never get more than 12, 15 songs from me on one project. Never. 16 with a bonus.
What if Pusha T finds out about your alabaster kid in France and shit? You gonna release a double album?
Maybe for Push.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna call it Scorpion. Call it Armadillo or some shit. Something else that comes from the desert.
We call it Cactus.
No, you might have a problem with Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying? He calls himself Cactus Jack.
God.
You know what I'm saying?
Something. Whatever, nigga. Shout out to Travis, nigga. But yeah. And then technically he stole that from Mick Foley. For all these wrestling fans know. We ain't gonna go into that though.
Just saying.
What?
Just saying. Like Jock out here claiming Cactus. So it was like Armadillo. It would have to be something like that. But don't let Pusha T catch you out here knowing about your kid that you ain't talking about.
I feel like me and Pusha T would get along better than that.
I would hope so.
I don't know how he is as a person, but the way he comes off in his music, I feel like we would get along better.
It's just, you know what I'm saying? Don't hide your kid from the world or hide the world from your kid, and you won't have those problems.
I'm definitely hiding my kid from the world.
Hey, man.
Definitely.
Hey, man. Sometimes
the world is not the thing.
It's not the thing. It's not. But sometimes
I don't know. The world sucks.
The unavoidable happens, like Britney Spears throwing her chocha out to Hollywood. That's unavoidable.
Sometimes the coochie come out.
Sometimes you just end up seeing it. You know what I mean? And then you're just like, it's a pussy.
Well, once it happens, it already happened. Can't take it back.
You really can't. You know what I mean?
I don't know what that means.
I don't even know what the fuck that.
Oh.
That was engineers throwing up gang signs like, dog.
What's your set?
I'm like, shit, like, MS-13 showing up, nigga?
Like, no, yeah. I'm in a better mindset with it, bro. I've been excited on the podcast tip. I never want to stop that. You're probably gonna end up getting more from me this year with me and you. I got some other things planned. See if those fall through. I got some shit.
Bad.
I got some shit. I think it's gonna be a good year.
Big things for 2020. Pause.
And music wise and money wise and all the other wises.
And own your masters.
Oh, I don't move unless I do.
Oh, 1,000. That's all I want.
Like I said, that was then, nigga. Nowadays, you can't get me to get on the record if it's not some sort of thing. It's gotta be a thing. It's gotta be real. It's gotta be a song. It can't just be we rapping off YouTube beats and shit. No, it's a waste of time in my opinion.
Can't monetize it, bro.
You can, but you just then you playing. You know, I mean, I look at it
you
like
can monetize more or you can monetize less.
That, but I look at it like when you just write to a beat that you don't own, I feel like you playing beat the clock with a million other niggas that might see this and have the money and buy it right then.
Yeah.
So then you just wasted your time on that beat. Well, not really. I mean, I guess
it's
you
like
can move it around.
Yeah. It's like bidding on shoes.
I feel like it's a waste of time.
It's been like bidding on sneakers on StockX. Nigga, it's just like, God damn it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's a struggle.
And you can't be mad about it. It's part of the game.
I see that
Niggas done resold.
See that motherfucker from Arkansas, I'm gonna beat his ass.
Beat a couple things, huh?
That's the motherfucker from Arkansas beat me out on a pair of J's. I'm gonna beat that nigga ass.
You are a StockX bidding ass nigga.
I am, bro, because I can only bid on the pair of the 10.5s, fam. I couldn't buy them bitches outright. That shit,
That's what you get for wearing a 10.5.
I can fit a 10.5 or an 11. It's just in those particular J's, it's a 10.5.
You either gonna have big feet or small feet, nigga.
Alright, I got the average size foot, which actually sucks because like, that's when you know what I'm saying?
You the type of nigga get shot for Jordans.
Bro. Because you know at least one nigga personally that probably live in your house that wear a 10.5 or 11. So it's like, damn, son.
That's a fact.
Like couldn't get those J's for Ray Ray. Stab that nigga for sure. Niggas like when them last J's came out, motherfuckers was definitely getting ran down in fucking LA for them damn J's, bro. Straight up, Bloods and Crips for all pair of black and red J's.
Anything you gotta wait in a line for more than 10 minutes for, you might get shot over it.
That's true, but that's the culture. Unfortunately,
it's a part of it.
But some things aren't meant
This is a podcast or an interview, damn.
You know, we interviewing, goddammit, we interviewing. You trying to cross over.
All right.
The motherfuckers need to know.
Get me in my podcast bag, man.
I'm in my podcast bag. Get the fuck away from the mic there.
I'm supposed to be in my artist bag.
God damn it. But idiot. I'm proud of see you going down your artist road, you know what I'm saying, gearing up for 2020 and like the future and everything like that, you know what I mean? Like as an art, you know what I'm saying, like as an artist, mad respect, you know what I'm saying, just outside of being a fan. Like that's 1,000. You feel me? But
you had to bleep me on this. I appreciate that, you dirty wetback.
Ah, damn, the racism, but the compassion is still there, fam. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
And don't worry, my Mexican homies, he's the only one I call it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's not. We're not a racist. We're just
racism has come up a little bit too much in my interviews. I'm not liking where my career is going already.
I don't like it. You know what I like to call it? Racially flexible. It's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Racially fluid.
That's great. That's great. That's what we say for the white people now. But this has been episode 2 of the new year. Non-Millennial Millennials podcast with your illustrious host, Jose Ortega. I want to thank my man's BZZY Black for stopping through and giving us this dope interview, even though this motherfucker wanted to be in a podcast himself. Like, hey, but not this time. Like, not this time, my nigga. But appreciate you stopping through, showing some love and shit. Big things for 2020. Maybe we get a snippet or some shit to play at the end of this podcast. But shout out to you. Peace, God. Episode 2 in the bag for the year. And we out this bitch. Again.
Appreciate it.
That camera died though. At like after I said 30 minutes.
Oh.